guys. Welcome. Deborah King out here in the sunshine with us on this beautiful day in January. We're going to have a really good time today. We're going to talk about Vedic astrology. But first, let's sing This Little Light.
This little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. One more time. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
So much fun. Have so much missed this. We haven't done this now since our last show before the holiday on December 20. Hope you caught our holiday show. So just have a really good time today. You know, you can call in and talk to me on my red phone. See if I can remember that number. It's 888-DEB-SHOW. And I'll get it memorized one of these days, you guys. Or you can, if you're international, you can come to deborahking.com/DebShow, and you can talk to me that way. I'd love to help you and answer your question, maybe about what's going to be true for you, right, in this new year. And, invite your friends and family to join us today. They can click right here on Facebook or YouTube, and you can have them join. Let's all just drop in and connect with Spirit for just a moment, huh? And on all of our behalf, and with special focus on us bringing in the best for ourselves in this new year, right at the cusp of this new year. Let's call in all the guides, your ancestors, your animal guides, the ascended masters, any divine figures that you like to work with, whoever they may be, and in any culture or tradition. I call them from every plane, from near and far. Add the angels and the teachers to the stars. And so it is. All right, and I'll start by introducing the band. We've got our leader over here, Lois Mahalia. Go, Lois. She's just so amazing. It's so much fun to work with her, and we all learn so much from her. And Natalie Gelman. Love having Natalie. And Sophie Holt, another beautiful voice over here on the lady side, and over here on the guy side we have Jack Lee, music director and just an awesome singer and keyboardist, and he knows a whole bunch of other instruments too, right? And JB White, our mainstay. Love JB with such a beautiful voice, right? Plus an instrument. And we've got Lee Rolag back in the day with the Roger Miller Band, and Lee's hot on the guitar as well as you guys probably noticed over the past year or so, he really can play the violin. David Telegian, another multi-instrumentalist guy who's just amazing on the flute and the sax and the clarinet. And no show would be complete without our guy James Antunes, who keeps us all on the beat. So let's go right into our next song, one of my personal faves.
In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan, stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow on snow, snow on snow. In the bleak midwinter, long, long ago. What can I give him, poor as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would give a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. Yet what can I give him? I can give my heart. Yet what can I give him? I can give my heart.
Sweet. Isn't that a sweet song? And of course, when we picked it out, it was midwinter, it was raining. But this is Southern California, and it's now summertime, 75 degrees. I still remember moving here, I don't know, 20 years ago and calling my mother and telling her that it was January 20th and something was wrong because all of the ornamental fruit trees were in bloom here. I couldn't believe it. I was from Northern California. So, all right, now I want to talk about a really interesting topic. I want to talk about Vedic astrology. I know you're going to be interested in it, so let's do that now. Vedic astrology, what is it, right? Animal, vegetable, mineral. So it's not separate from Vedic philosophy, which I teach, or Vedic meditation, which I also teach, but you know, it's intertwined with both of them. And there are a lot of celebrities, especially from Bollywood, that's Bali with a B, who deeply believe in the power of Vedic astrology, as do I. And I discovered it, God, I was in my 20s or 30s. It's really threaded throughout Eastern culture and spirituality, and teachers and sages give it a really serious study, okay? Not just in the East, but here too. And it draws a line from the dawn of time, thousands of years. It's an amazing body of intellectual work. So you can begin with the words of Yogananda, and I just, if you're curious about Yogananda, I just lectured on him just a month or two ago. He said that astrology is the response of man's response to planetary stimuli, right? Because the stars have no conscious benevolence or animosity to us. They really don't. They merely send forth positive and negative vibrations and radiations, and themselves they do not help or harm. They're like mountains, right? Mountains have no positive or negative thoughts about us, but they stand there for humanity. So there's an outward operation of cause and effect, equilibrium, really, that has set us all in motion. So as you'll see, this is really a key thing to understand, and the main thing to know about Vedic astrology is it's big on karma, okay? It's really big on karma. So it first emerged in India, where India now is, maybe 10,000 years ago, maybe at the most recent 5,000, so it's really old. ancient Indian astrologers looked to the heavens, to the stars, for guidance and navigation. They were way ahead of us Westerners. Our scientists are still way behind them, okay? It's called Jyotish, and it means science of light, and it has a lot to do with teaching us about karmic influences in our present lives. So the 7 main chakras in your personal energy field correspond to the 7 main planets in the heavens. So you can draw upon Vedic astrology and get insights, right, on your own personal spiritual journey. So, they say astrology in the Vedic world is the eye of the Vedas, and it's not just about daily predictions about your life, but it's integrated with your meditation practice, and it's a means to approach the divine. So in practice, Vedic astrology is hugely mathematically sophisticated, and you have to be a master of it. You get a degree at an advanced, like way beyond bachelor's. You go get a doctorate in India if you want to be a Vedic astrologer. And some families in this field in India can trace their ancestors back all the way back for centuries that were astrologers like themselves. So it needs to be studied on its own terms and within this long history. I'm today just giving you kind of an overview. I might actually teach a course on it one of these days. It's really helpful to begin with comparisons to our own Western culture, which you may know a little bit about Western astrology. So Western astrology began in the Hellenistic period. That's around, the death of Alexander the Great, right around, 300 years before Christ. Pretty new if you compare it to Vedic, which is 10,000 years old. And Western science frowns on astrology, right? Our scientists do. But again, that system has a lot to teach us too. So Western astrology uses the tropical calendar. It's based on, as you know, that's what we use. It's based on a 365-day year. And we say that's how long it takes for the sun to pass from the vernal equinox to the vernal equinox, right, to make one full loop. A tropical year is divided into 4 seasons: winter, spring, summer, and fall, right? That's what we know. And Western astrology charts are based on planets' fixed positions. But in fact, that's not the way it works up there in the heavens. And Vedic astrology uses the sidereal system, which looks at the changing constellations. They're not fixed. So that system dates back to the time of the pharaohs. And now we're getting really old, right? In maybe 7,000 or 8,000 years ago. And that system says it takes a planet, for example, Earth, or Mercury, for example. It takes a certain amount of time for it to orbit the sun with respect to fixed stars. So in Vedic astrology, your birth chart reflects the exact position of the planets right over the place of your birth at the moment of your birth. Think of the Christ child, by the way. Remember just to digress for a moment, remember the Magi's came because they knew they were Vedic astrologers and they knew exactly when to come to look for the Christ child. So this is where it starts to get super interesting. The tropical system the West uses and the Vedic system drift apart by about 1 degree every 75 years or so. And so therefore the Vedic year is 20 minutes longer than a tropical year. This may seem inconsequential, but it's not. It has a huge effect on the results of your studies of the system. So both systems do have 12 signs, and the meanings ascribed to the signs are a little bit similar, not fully. For example, your sign in Vedic astrology usually is different from what you think of in Western. So I'll give you an example. One of my students, say born on October 25, just to give an example. In Western astrology, she'd be a Scorpio. In Vedic astrology, she'd be a Libra. So they are different. Vedic astrology would also want you to focus in on the fact that your rising sign is more important than your sun sign. I'm going to repeat that your rising sign is more important than your sun sign. So it's really complex, isn't it? But super fascinating. That's part of the reason, again, that Indian universities, some of them offer these advanced degree programs in Vedic astrology. we can only consider the broadest outlines of these two systems today, but I hope this brief introduction that I'm going to give today will allow you to see the two differences and maybe entice you to come over and study Vedic astrology with me one day soon, maybe next year. Now, before I move on, I want to say a quick word about one other system. It's Indian. It was from the early 20th century by a man named K.S. Krishnamurti. He's a very noteworthy astrologer, and he came up with a system they call KP astrology. Some would tell you it's a modernized version of the Vedic one, but in fact it's simpler to use, and it's kind of a bastardization of Vedic and Western. I'm not a fan of it. I don't have time to go through the key differences right now, but I want you to know I'm not talking about the KP version here today, in case you read about it or have heard about it. So before we take a break, I want to tell you one other thing, how I stumbled on Vedic astrology. I was in an ashram and in India, and standing in line hoping to use a payphone, remember them, and to call the U.S., and I wanted to check on a real estate deal because I was a real estate attorney. And I was chatting with the guy in line in front of me, and he said, "You mean you haven't had your Vedic astrology chart done?" This was a Vedic ashram, and I said, "No, I don't know anything about that." And he gave me the name of a guy and a phone number, and I called it, and it turned out that man lived not that far from where if I were living in California at the time, I would have been living fairly close to him. He was a Californian. I was very doubtful. I'm very skeptical. You know, it's a lawyer background, right? I'm thinking this sounds like a crock. Why would this American be so gifted in Vedic astrology? And he worked for Howard Hughes Aircraft at the time. He was an engineer. He was really a bright guy. So I thought, what the heck? And so I had him do my chart. Amazing. Amazing. I couldn't believe it. It was the most incredible thing I'd ever heard or read. And I ended up that was years ago, of course, and I ended up studying with him. It's a long story. God rest his soul. He passed on here a few years ago. I was just devastated to lose him. It was such a shock. What an amazing guy he was. And when I do someday teach the work, I will be teaching his work. He's an extremely gifted man in this field. All right, let's go sing a song. We'll come back and we'll talk all about karma. Okay? This is a great song by the Beautiful Sea, sung by our... No? What are we singing right now? Oh, Mohawk Valley. Right. Oh, I love this song. Wow.
One, two.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, they say from this valley you're going, shall miss your sweet face and bright smile. You will take with you all the sunshine that has gladdened our hearts for a while. For the sake of the past, do not leave me. Do not hasten to bid me adieu. Remain in this bright Mohawk Valley with the fond heart that is but for you. Do you think of this valley you're leaving? Oh, how dreary it will be when you go. Have you thought of the heart so lonely that has loved you, cherished you so? For the sake of the past, do the
sake of the past, do not leave me.
Do not
Hasten to bid me adieu.
oh, remain
In this bright Mohawk Valley,
with a
fond heart that lives but for you.
Oh, JB, what a sweet sound that is. And oh, Lee, those chords you were hitting on that guitar. Oh, I could feel them just going right through me. All right, part 2. Let's talk about karma, okay? So without getting too intellectual here, just sort of give you the overview. In the Vedic tradition, astrology works right along with Vedic meditation, which hopefully you're doing. I teach it, and other devotional practices, and guides us right as we walk in our spiritual development toward enlightenment. Now, there's a rishi, that's a seer, an Indian seer, a Vedic seer. He was a sage. Parahasha Rishi, he's the father of Jyotish, that's Vedic astrology, and he wrote the first 19 Puranas, okay, of the Vedic literature. So he's a very famous and thoughtful man, and very attuned, very connected to probably the stars, all right? And then Roger Gabriel, who's a known student of this work, really an expert in this field, he said that Jyotish helps you understand the effects of the external universe on your life, while meditation brings you the realization that the universe is actually within you. It's inside of you. You are the universe. So, famous quote from him. So Vedic astrology, meditation, and Ayurvedic medicine, they all are interwoven and they work hand in hand. And they seek the balance of your mind, your body, and your spirit. Now, I know that daily pop horoscopes are fun, but Vedic astrology is serious business, right? Can really talk to you about cause and effect and predilections, about possibilities and tendencies. I always thought of it as tendencies that influence you throughout your whole life. So all of them, again, that brings us to karma. So Vedic astrology is a philosophical system that can't be separated from the concept of karma and reincarnation. Bear with me if you're not a reincarnation believer yet. I still remember the first time I heard about it, I was like, well, that's weird. So a Vedic birth chart, your chart, not only lifts the veil on your future, it shows you how the arrangement of the planets up there in the sky at the moment of your birth and the place of your birth reflect all that has come before for you. So in other words, it shows you your collective karma over previous incarnations. Whether positive or negative, those reverberations, right, shape you as you continue your journey in this current body, this vehicle you've been given this time around. So karma has many layers in the Vedic system. There's Sanchita karma, that's the karma of your past lives, good and bad. Then there's Pralabha karma, that's the unfinished business of your previous lives, which you need to confront in this lifetime. Then there's Kriyama karma, that's every moment, every day right now, okay, every thought and action we have. And then there's Agni karma, which is the karma of your future birth or births for those of you who plan to come back and have yet another lifetime. Don't plan to transcend and go out with this one. So let's pause for a moment, okay? The idea of karma is a little hard for most Westerners because they get a little disturbed at the thought that our contemporary culture and secular Western values puts a lot of emphasis, right, on your individual agency, your right to run your own life. It's all about the self, isn't it? So the notion of past lives and collective karma kind of stirs the thoughts up. of those who believe their lives should be totally under their own control. That is such a joke, right? But anyway, there's a lot of Western belief in that. So karma, from the Western standpoint, sometimes seems to contradict the ideas of free will, which I fully believe in and know is true. And free will underlies everything in the West we believe in, from the right to marry who you choose to, everything, right? It's free will. So if you take its simplicity, some observers would say karma doesn't blame the victim and allows offenders to go scot-free, if you look at it one way. So karma extends thousands of years, if it does, in multiple lifetimes. How can any of us be sure of what justice is today for ourselves or other people? Well, let's go a little bit deeper. Vedic philosophy is distinct from our Western philosophy, which is kind of built into our thinking. We're not even aware of it. We do not want to simplify this too much, and the study of either philosophical system does require a great deal of study and effort. But it isn't a system of good or bad. It isn't binary. It's either good or bad. It's better to sit with both beliefs for a long time and then have them be shaped to suit you and your beliefs. So wisdom, doesn't happen in a day or even one lifetime. So I don't want to propose a false equivalency. I would say that in the Bible, Luke, I think it's 6:31, right, says that do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's karma, if I ever heard of it, right? And by the way, I'm not the first person to observe that. I'm sure you've heard of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the Beatles guru for a while. He said the same thing on Larry King back in the day. He said the very same thing. So my point is that Vedic astrology does not absolve us of our free will and our responsibilities. This Sanchita karma, it's eternal. And the other layers of karma, though, can be changed. They can be changed. So your birth chart maps your karma and points to areas where you might want to focus on, and points to areas where you may have challenges in this lifetime due to bad karma that you've accumulated, but also points to possibilities for growth and happiness. So in either case, your Sanchita karma, which is steering your path, your ship, is within the boundaries of the planetary influences that came from your birth. So if I could slightly paraphrase the famous Vedic astrologer, Chanel Joshi, he said that the Vedic horoscope of a person is like a businessman's balance sheet. I am paraphrasing. He said, like, if you look at your balance sheet at the beginning of every year, it represents the total debt and the total credit accumulated by your soul in all your past lives. Being Western and being logical, I find that an easy way to look at it and think about it. So we're not absolved of our responsibility to use the wisdom of our hearts that comes to us from the stars to make good choices and attend to our spiritual well-being. We are responsible. And that's why I talk about Vedic astrology in terms of your meditation practice. If you think about the sound of Om, the first sound, the very beginning of sound, if you can stretch back in time to the very mists of time that we label eternity, when we meditate on a Vedic mantra that I have chosen for you, you're letting go of attempts to grab enlightenment, and you're letting it just seep in. It's literally just seep into your whole system. So in Vedic astrology, the mantra selected by a spiritual teacher, like myself, will resonate in your body and will correspond with three fundamentals: creation, preservation, and destruction. Isn't that interesting? So when you align your meditation practice, which I hope you do every day, with a mantra I've selected for you, when you do that with insights you might get from an astrology chart someday, from a Vedic astrology chart, you'll begin to see the unity between your thoughts, your deeds, your actions, your reactions, past, present, and future. And you'll move beyond this moment and connect with not just what was, but what's coming. And that will finally help you achieve transcendence. That's how the Vedic seers used Vedic astrology. They used it to transcend even further. Okay. It's a lot to think about, isn't it? If you're curious, you can go to, I have a course that dabbles in this a little bit already. It's deborahking.com/vibration, I think. That would give you some more tips on the work I'm discussing today. All right, time to sing another song, huh? Let's do it. Okay, now we're going to sing By the Sea. The ladies are, yeah.
Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
By the sea, by the sea, by the beautiful sea, you and me, oh how happy we'll be when each wave comes a-rolling in. We will duck or swim, and we'll float and fool around the water, over and under, and then up for air. Ma is rich, and Ma is rich, so what do we care? I love to be beside you, side by side, the sea beside the seaside, by the beautiful sea. And we'll float and fool around the water, over and under, and then up for air. Pa is rich, Ma is rich, so now what do we care? I love to be beside you, side by side, the sea beside the seaside, by the beautiful sea, just you and me, by the seaside, by the beautiful sea.
Sweet ladies, very sweet. All right, time for some calls on my red phone. Heading over there now. Looking forward to talking to you. The red phone segment is probably the technologically trickiest part of this show. So, because we have some new engineers today. I do hear it ringing. Hi, this is Deborah. How can I help you? Not hearing my caller yet. I wish you guys were here today. It is amazing. It's like 75 out here. Yeah, heaven. It's just heaven. I hate to be so weather driven, but okay. We're going to try that call again, I hear. We do have new engineers today. Hi, this is Deborah. Can I help you? I think maybe the issue's on the caller's end. I think they have to hang up too from the show.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Kathy,
Hi, Kathy. How can I help you?
and I'm in New Jersey. And thank you for taking my call.
Oh, you're very welcome.
I have just
Uh-huh.
I have a comment about Vedic astrology that's related to my question. The comment is that I had my chart done last year, and the astrologer told me that I was going into a time where the sun was going to be governing me more than the other planets. It was more like a soul-led time. And coincidentally, I'm going through a period right now. I did have an injury, but I'm really fatigued. And part of me is wondering, is there something physical going on, or is it just an opportunity for me to be more reflective and help me transition into kind of, being more soul-led?
Well,
for
I'm
the next
picking up
few
something. I'm picking up something physical. You said you had a recent injury. Did you have a surgery?
Yes, I did.
Was it very long? A couple hours?
It was a couple hours, and I was intubated. And
Yeah, I'm picking up
Okay.
some residue from that needs to be cleared. It feels like anesthetic and some other drug.
Okay.
Also possibly in the anesthesia mix. And there's a simple energy procedure that can remove it. Just chelate it right out of your body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't even have to go anywhere. You can have it done remotely by a skilled energy
Terrific,
medicine
because I usually
practitioner.
don't get this kind of fatigue.
Yeah, no, it feels very physical to me, like you feel, I don't know, I hate to use this word, but it feels a little like polluted, like it was too much for your body, your system. But Kathy, it's easy to remove.
Okay.
It's easy to remove. Any good energy medicine practitioner could nail it in a session or two.
Terrific.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not spiritual, it's physical, the fatigue.
I overthought it.
Yeah, I'm getting tired just sitting here talking to you. I really am. I have such a,
Yes. No,
I
it's
just,
really,
I
a nap.
yeah. So, yeah, that's all you have to do. I have a whole
Okay,
page.
great.
If you go to my website and go to the footer, it says private practitioner. I have like 20 private practitioners that I vouch for, swear by. They're all graduates of my teaching program. They're all very capable. Just pick one. Just use your intuition.
Okay.
Yeah, have a session or
Well,
two
that's
and
good to hear.
enjoy.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you very much.
right down in the footer, right at DeborahKing.com, right on the bottom, it'll say private practitioner. Okay, you take
Okay.
care. I'm glad you called.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, anesthetic can nail us, you guys, and everybody's different, and every time that you are put under, it's different. You're different. The drug mix is different. The day is different. The doctor's different. One time it bothers you, one time it doesn't, and you can have it chelated or chelated or right out. It's more in your first level of your energy field, just outside your body. And when it's pulled out of your energy field by a practitioner, then it just pulls it out of the next layer down, which is the physical layer, pulls it out of the body. It's just residue. It may even only be energetic residue, but we sure don't need it. It makes us feel awful tired. Okay. Hi, this is Deborah. How can I help you?
I have such I just
I can hear someone coming or going.
Hi, Deborah. Can
Hi.
you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. I am your student from Be a Modern Master
Oh, wonderful.
through Mind Valley. Yes. And
What's your first name?
My name is Mona.
Mona, and what city are you in?
I'm in Irvine, Orange County.
Okay. How can I help you?
So I want to do. I want to know what is next. How can I evolve this practice? Continue, growing, and also I noticed I am like some days. I know you through the course you mentioned it's normal. But now that the course is finished, I finished the whole course, listening to everything several times. I feel like I am not feeling as strongly as connected to the practice lately. And even though I do the seatings and I do all the practices so I was wondering if I'm doing anything wrong or disconnected somehow.
Good question, Mona. You're not doing anything wrong, and it happens to every single one of us. What happens is we dive in and we get really into it and really involved, and you're actually watching the videos at that time, right? With the group, participating with the group.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you go home.
No.
Not now. You're not now.
Yeah, I was not on the course when you were teaching. I didn't learn it live. I just recently,
Watch
3
the
months ago,
videos.
started your course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, my point is that we get more juice from it's a sutra course you're talking about, and any practice like that, we get more out of it if we do it with a group, even if it's a recorded group session.
Yes.
Because the energy doesn't leave. See, the energy's still there. And then we go home and try to do it all by ourselves without the group, and it is flatter. It's not as...
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Because the sutra program is meant to be done in a group. And I know what a lot of students do is once a week or so, they pull up one of the recording files and they do the practice with the group. Does that make sense? I mean, you still have your eyes closed, but there's people on the screen in front of you who are meditating along with you and doing the sutra program.
Yes, that is correct. But like, how can I continue? I feel like I not that I feel like I really crave learning more about like your teachings and continue the same thing. I feel like I'm missing, and I don't enjoy. After your course, I realized that I don't
There's
enjoy
more
any
out
of the
there.
other courses as much.
Yeah, there's more out there is what you're
What do you
noticing, huh?
recommend?
Yeah. Just one suggestion.
Yes, exactly.
You might go over to my website and you might click on the
Sure.
course that's called Life Force Energy Healing, Roman numeral 4. There's an 800 number on that page you can call. You might call and chat with those gals and see if maybe that course might be a fit for you. That's where you work individually with me. It's pretty personal. And then you'd be on fire all the time.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, you
That's a pleasure.
feel very suited for it. I'll tell them to
Really?
watch for your name.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, again,
Thank you
it's
so much,
called,
Deborah.
again, Mona, it's called Roman numeral 4, Life Force Energy Healing 4. It's a class I only open to a few people.
Okay, that's
All right.
awesome.
You
Thank
take
you so
care.
much, Deborah.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Sure, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah, she has that kind of energy. She'd be really suitable for that. Hi, this is Deborah. How can I help you?
Oh, hi. My name is Kathleen. I'm from Kailua, Hawaii.
Hi, Kathleen. How can I help you?
Oh, by the way, you look great. Happy Lunar New Year.
Oh, thank you. Happy Lunar New Year
first-
to you. Yes, that's right.
The first question I have is, where would I get a Vedic astrology chart done?
You know, I'm not recommending anybody at the time since my dear departed friend, who was so gifted, who did charts, has left the planet. I need to reach out to his. Yeah, I don't have somebody I can give you right now, and
Okay,
and
no problem.
No, and I'll certainly have someone by the time I get around to teaching it. I'll have to check somebody out, Kathleen, and find someone. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
No, it's a
the
fun subject,
question I
isn't
have-
it? Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, and it's very fascinating.
Yeah, it
and
is.
I like that it's connected to the meditation.
And Ayurveda.
Wow.
Mhm.
I'm really
Right.
Yes, I'm very
Mhm.
excited about it. The other question I have is, I went to the doctor for just a screening CAT scan of my chest is to check your coronary arteries, and my coronary arteries are fine, but they found that my thoracic aorta is dilated. And so I have to go and see another specialist for it. But I thought it was kind of interesting because it's dilated right at the back of my
Heart
fourth
chakra?
chakra.
Heart chakra. I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, my heart chakra.
I knew that.
Mhm.
Hey,
Yeah,
point
yeah.
number one is I
Cool.
would love for you to get fewer screenings. I hardly ever say that to anybody,
Yes.
but
Me
no,
too.
I hardly ever say that. But I'm being very led to tell you that you're being overscreened. You're
Okay.
Yeah, you're a healthy woman. You feel pretty young, and I think they're scaring the pants off of you. That's what I'm
Yes.
getting. You're really healthy, but you know, if we get screened, they're going to find all kinds of weird stuff going on inside. We're all individual inside and outside. And
Yes.
yeah, and I mean, they can always find something odd. I mean, go ahead and follow up on that, but then I would back off and do more things outdoors. You feel very healthy to me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Just a little too much fear there. Your fear level's kind of high.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need that.
Yeah. Okay, so then I'll just work on being outside, and
Yeah.
then my fear,
Yeah, and go get
releasing it.
go get that last test and find out you're fine, and then you know take a breather on tests. Yeah, you're not at an age where you need them that much. You feel very young,
Well,
young and
yeah,
healthy.
I mean,
Wait till you're 80.
yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah.
All
Hey, that
right.
works for me.
I'm glad you called.
Okay, well, thank you so much. Yes, and take care. And I'm
You
looking
take
forward
care.
to when you're teaching the Vedic astrology.
Yeah, and the
class.
more I talk
Thank
about
you.
it, I think it'd be really fun to bring somebody in, bring in a really good teacher. I would love that. Then I could learn too. You know, bring in somebody who's
Yeah,
really
well,
good at it.
thank you so
All
much.
right. Glad you called. You take care. Bye-bye.
You too.
I know I have more callers in the queue, but one more maybe? I'll just take one more. I see all the band over here eating those oranges I put out on the set. They look so good. I see you guys with those those oranges. I want one. Hi, this is Deborah. How can I help you? Can't quite hear you. I can't quite hear the caller.
Oh,
Hi there.
okay.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi,
Hi.
my name is Cynthia.
Hi, Cynthia. How can I help you?
I'm waiting for Deborah to answer
This is Deborah.
her phone.
I don't think
Really?
I don't think Cynthia can hear me, or is
Oh, okay. Sorry, I can hear you. I just
Okay.
got confused. I didn't recognize your voice.
uh-huh.
Okay, sorry. Okay, how can you help me? Well, I'm curious about how I'm managing my life, and I find I get into difficulties with my husband, and it seems to happen cyclically. And I think it's got to do with something about me. that I need to work on.
I'm
and
not
that
getting
I need
that.
to move forward with.
I'm getting very
Nope.
strong. No, I'm getting very strongly. It's about him.
Okay. Okay. Maybe that's helpful because recently I told him that I thought it would be helpful if he got some help so that he would have a place where he could be witnessed and have like confidence and be able to express his emotions and concerns and things in a safe place.
Is he open to getting help?
He seems to be, but we talk about it, but we don't seem to get any. We don't take.
It doesn't
action,
seem to happen.
But it's just come up recently. And he's having lots of trouble with his own things. And I sometimes wonder if I'm not doing enough. Or
No, I think
you know, like I kind of get into a place.
Yeah, Cynthia, I think I'm sensing that you're doing too much for him, and you think too much about him. And yeah, I would pull back a little bit and just focus on yourself. You're not being selfish if you do that. You need more you time, and I'd love for him to get some help. He feels a little troubled.
Yes. I get that. It's been like that for a while.
And it seems like it's Cynthia, it's very hard on you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
and emotionally it costs me. So I'm looking for ways to kind of
maybe you could take a little Can you take a little breather and kind of give the relationship maybe a little breathing room, a little break?
Yeah. I'm not sure how I would do that.
Logistically. Okay. Yeah, I understand. It's always very tricky, isn't it?
I don't have the resources at this point that I can go somewhere.
Right.
That's not going to be a big cost. So
well, even if you take little
evening things for myself. Maybe.
Yeah, little breaks every day. Take a little break and make it more about you, and he's wearing you out in some way.
I feel like that, and I think we need help because I can't wrestle the steer by myself. I'll just say.
Do you guys belong to a church?
Yeah.
Do you go to church, the two of you?
Well, we've gone to the local Catholic church.
Because
for the first Fridays. I'm
seeing a priest or a pastor or some male figure counseling you, the two of you.
Okay.
And that's very affordable. There's usually no cost, right?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe that would be.
Maybe you could get a little support that way. You feel like you're all alone on this and don't have enough support. And it's draining you.
Yeah, I often say I don't have enough leverage.
Right. It's draining you.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
And I go into insecurity, I start to feel like, oh God, should I, like I don't want to go through the grief of like divorce. Like I don't really want to go there, but I start to think about it. And then I start to feel guilty about that.
Oh, don't feel guilty about that. It's an option you should be considering.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm feeling into things, and it feels pretty rigorous for you. You should consider it.
Yeah.
Stop feeling guilty, and it's not the end of the world. Half the world's divorced, right? 52%.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. I have a lot of insecurity for finances and where I would live, how I would even, I'd have to be picking myself right off the mat. And,
well, give that all some thought.
From making those choices.
See if you can't get a little outside support from maybe social services or a pastor. Okay?
Yeah, I will do that.
You take care.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Glad you called.
So much, Deborah.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, we have one more song. Yay. This is a fun one. You're going to want to sing along with us, okay?
1, 2, got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. Say, he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. In his hands.
So much fun with you guys. So much fun. Okay, before we wrap up here, I want to tell you that I had a live workshop last week, how to write a bestseller. I got to say, even by my estimation, it was really fun. It was really exciting. I had a super good time. I had so much fun giving people all of the secrets I have to how to write a bestseller. I mean, I've written 4 of them. I'm, New York Times, so I kind of know what I'm doing. And it was so much fun to pass on my knowledge and give it to people. So if you missed it and you want to see it, you still can. You go to deborahking.com/bestseller. You can catch the replay of it. And then while you're at it, if you're super serious about writing a book, I do have a publishing company. And if you go to deborahking.com/publish, you can read about all of that there. I only do just a few books. I'm really selective. I take everything I know and help you become the writer and the brand you want to be. I want to help you get your message out to the world. So come there if that's of interest to you. And I love the fact you joined us this week. Now, I'll be on again next week. Just come on back next Tuesday, January 31st, 2 p.m. We'll do just a short Words of Wisdom show. So I'll see you there. Until I see you again, you take care.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
This little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. All around the world, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it
Clear. All right. Be right back out.